What's up everyone, welcome back to more Reddit stories about Karens, crazy people, and all that kind of stuff. Hope you're all doing awesome, and as usual, we got some more Reddit posts to check out today. So feel free to share your thoughts about today's stories down in the comments, and let's get into it. I, 23 female, am days away from giving birth, and my 37 male boyfriend just decided to tell me that he can't be at the birth, because he's married. So first off, I know the age gap probably should have been a red flag, but I was stupid. We've been together for 2 years, but he lives in a different city. When I got pregnant, he said he was going to move to my city and we would move in together. He just needed to finalize some things with his ex-wife. He told me he was divorced when we met and I never had any reason to question it. I knew that he had 2 kids with her as well. He told me the truth about that, just not that he wasn't divorced or even separated. So fast forward. I'm 39 weeks and he suddenly got uncommunicative, which is less than ideal when you're literally about to give birth. Bear in mind that he was supposed to have been fully moved in here a month ago, blamed COVID. Today I found out I'm going to be induced on Monday unless baby decides to come out over the weekend. So I contacted him and I was like, okay, what's going on? And that's when he told me that he isn't actually separated or divorced. He never told his wife about anything, and now he felt like he was backed into a corner. I don't feel sorry for him for that because that's his own fault, but obviously literally 4 days before giving birth isn't the time you want to get this news, and I have no idea what to do now. Tell him to F off obviously, but what else? I feel like, I can take care of the baby, but I was preparing to have a partner to take care of it with me, you know? Edit. Thank you all, it seems like getting legal help is priority number 1. I called around to some lawyers in my area and the advice I got from posting here has been absolutely brilliant. I'm going to leave the legal business to the lawyers, pray that he didn't give me false information and I can actually find him, and try to remember how much I was looking forward to being a mom before all of this happened. To everyone who shared their stories with me, thank you so much. You feel like the dumbest person in the world when this happens to you, and knowing it happens to people all the time is a weird comfort, even when you wouldn't wish it on anybody. I don't think of myself as a trashy or generally stupid person, just a person who is blinded by love and naivety, and has learned a really hard lesson a really hard way. I doubt anything of monumental concern will happen between now and my Monday induction, but once the baby is here, I will try to come back and let people know what's happening. Update. First things first, I had my healthy baby girl on Monday evening. Second, I talked to his wife for over an hour yesterday. I guess he decided to tell her. She wasn't mad at me, thank God. She's had her suspicions, but was trying to trust her husband, which I understand. She was so nice, honestly, and even though she isn't angry at me, I still feel bad because she's such a nice lady. She wanted to make sure I was doing okay and that I didn't need anything, which made me cry because postpartum hormones are whack. She's getting a divorce from him. Good for her, to be honest. We are planning to meet up and talk crap about him. I have a lawyer and will establish custody and child support legally ASAP. He hasn't bothered to contact me at all, but I don't particularly care. I didn't want to leave anyone hanging, even though it's not a huge update. Thank you to everyone who checked in, it means a lot. I broke up with my girlfriend after she insisted I pay for her sister's student loans. So I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 26, for about 2 years. A few months ago, I got very lucky on stake and won about 80K. Not life-changing money, but definitely a nice chunk of change. My girlfriend has been struggling with student loans, about 35K, so I decided to help her out and paid them off completely. She was super grateful at first, crying and thanking me for weeks. Fast forward to last week. Her sister, 24, is also dealing with student loans, about 42K worth. My girlfriend started hinting that since I helped her, I should also help her sister. I laughed it off at first, thinking she was joking. She wasn't. She got increasingly pushy about it, saying things like, "You have plenty left, and it's selfish to help me but not my sister, and family helps family." I explained that while I care about her family, I'm not responsible for her sister's loans. I already did something generous that most boyfriends wouldn't do, and her sister's finances aren't my responsibility. This turned into a massive fight where she called me selfish and greedy. She literally said, "What's the point of having money if you don't help people with it?" She then gave me an ultimatum, either pay her sister's loans or she'd reconsider our relationship. I broke up with her on the spot. Now she's blowing up my phone saying I overreacted and her family thinks I'm an asshole. Update. So a couple weeks have passed. You all overwhelmingly suggested I reverse the payment. Well, I did exactly that. Called the loan servicer, explained the situation, and was able to get the $35K payment reversed. My ex absolutely lost it when she found out, blowing up my phone with 50+ texts calling me every name in the book. She's telling everyone I stole from her and her family is threatening legal action. Good luck. Her sister even showed up at my apartment screaming about how I ruined their plans, whatever that means. My friends are split. Half think it was savage but justified. Others think I should have just walked away without taking the money back. But honestly, the fact they immediately started planning on how to spend my money on the sister confirms I made the right call. This was clearly a manipulation scheme. How to get neighbors to stop peeing off balcony. My upstairs neighbors have been pissing off their balcony for months now. It is to the point where it is 10 times a night. This is not an exaggeration. Last night it was 10 times in an hour and a half. And I am losing my mind because my window is feet away, and I can't even sleep without getting jarred awake by the sound of them spraying everywhere like untrained dogs. Not to mention the first floor smells terrible. I told them to stop, yelled more accurately as it was midnight. They all took turns pissing directly afterward while laughing at me. They didn't even acknowledge me. I called the cops. Apparently an officer talked to them, but they're still doing it. I reported them to my landlord. Haven't heard anything back yet, but knowing my management, it won't amount to much. So what now? I am planning to get videos for evidence, but it is genuinely making me feel like a lunatic. I'm not sure what to do. I can't even enjoy a cigarette on my balcony because they think it's some funny power trip now. It's a bunch of college-aged men that have 0 brain cells to share between the 4 of them. Update. I got a lot of genuinely great ideas along with some really funny ones, but I think that I have my game plan put together to deal with these losers. Losers who were trying to throw beer cans at my window last night, by the way. I must reiterate that these are somehow adult men. Unfortunately, someone pointed out that I'm a grown woman and should handle it like one. And they're right. As cathartic as it would be to pull some petty bullcrap back, that's not what's going to get them to stop, since they think it's funny to irritate me. Plus, there's legal implications to some of the plans I was considering that don't pan out great for me. My landlord got back to me and I am pleasantly surprised at them even responding. They're sending my neighbors a violation letter. From my understanding, that's a warning about the consequences of their behavior continuing, which can include eviction. In my town, the population of college students is probably higher than actual residents, so finding a new apartment in the middle of the semester would be borderline impossible, unless they're willing to shell out huge amounts of money. Considering the complex we all live in, that's money I doubt they have. While them actually getting evicted might not be a reasonable expectation, at the very least, it's a paper trail. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to continue to call the cops on them every single time I see it happen. I'm also going to write them a very thorough letter explaining exactly what I'm going to do if they keep acting like the world is their personal toilet courtesy of the fact they have dicks, and I'm going to slap it right on their door. I think they're genuinely too dense to understand exactly how much I can screw them over, so hopefully it gives them a sense of perspective on the situation. This is an amalgamation of a lot of really smart, well thought out suggestions by some people I am very grateful toward, and is as follows. I'm going to set up 2 cameras, one on my balcony and one on the hill behind the building that will be pointed at their own balcony. If and when I get a full frontal shot of them hanging dong over the railing, I'm printing a whole lot of photographs and posting them on every single door in the complex, alongside their address, just so everyone knows how much they respect the area we all have to live in. I'm also sending them to the police. I did some research. In my state, public indecency is a Class 4 misdemeanor in the best case, and gets you put on the registry in the worst. The health department, disposing of biohazardous fluid in an inappropriate container or something similar, which is a health code violation and can get you fined. Building management, a continued violation of the conduct clause of the lease, which means eviction. And the dean of my college, a violation of the student code of conduct which can get you suspended. If I can figure out where they work, their social media, their close relations, they're all getting a nice eyeful too. If they feel like trying to call my bluff, they'll figure out it isn't a bluff in the slightest, and can decide for themselves if pissing off their balcony was really worth imploding their life. Had a neighbor visit and tell me he called HOA on us. I'm not part of an HOA and never have been. I have a 3-acre property right up against a private road on an HOA. The original owner of my house sold the land behind them to a developer back around 2012, and that's what it became. I've been building a greenhouse in my backyard, and all the neighbors on that road are sweet and wave, but never have said much behind a hello. My first real chat with one came by yesterday while my husband and I were working on the greenhouse, and he started out by saying, "Hello, I'm sorry, it was me. My name is blank. I called the HOA." And we were like, "What?" And he proceeds to tell us that he called the HOA on us because of the cement truck a couple weeks ago, pulling down the private road and backing into our backyard. It wasn't a cement truck. It was a contractor dump truck simply delivering the crushed stone I ordered. The truck took a part of my lawn a bit, but not the road. I never received a call from any HOA, and told him we weren't part of one and maybe that's why, and he seemed annoyed that we didn't get any call. He went on to say about how it wasn't allowed, and I'm like, okay, makes sense I guess. It is a private road, but they still came to my private residence, like any other contractor would do to come to a place on that private road, so I didn't think it was an issue as long as they didn't block road or impede passersby. He went so far to say that he almost got in his truck to block the contractor from coming onto my lawn, and I just laughed it off, but in my head I'm like, well that's weird. He left without any real quarrel in the end. Anyway friends, that's going to be all for today. Thank you for watching. As always, I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already for more Reddit content like this, and drop a comment down below. So take care, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you next time.